Everyone claims to be neutral these days. Journalists, politicians, even friends in a debate. So, is neutrality even possible? Or is it just another mask for bias? What if neutrality isn't what it seems? What if being neutral isn't the absence of bias, but just another form of it? Welcome to On the Table, where reasoning sits before judgment. If you enjoy exploring ideas with honesty, not hostility, hit like, subscribe, and let's reason together. Today, we're putting neutrality on the table. We often think neutrality means fairness, that by not choosing a side, we're somehow above the argument. But not choosing is still a choice. When something matters, neutrality doesn't float above truth. It quietly sides with the strongest voice in the room. So, neutrality isn't always balance. Sometimes it's silence disguised as virtue. Let's unpack what we call neutrality. It often wears three faces. Passive neutrality. I don't get involved. Sometimes it's wisdom. Sometimes it's fear. But in moral questions, silence is participation. History remembers moments when neutrality helped injustice thrive, when good people stayed quiet because it felt safer than speaking. Then there's performative neutrality. I see both sides equally. This one looks intellectual. It sounds wise, even balanced. But sometimes it's just indecision in disguise. Because not every side is equal. Treating truth and falsehood as equals doesn't make you fair. It makes you blind. Finally, structural neutrality, the idea that our systems are objective. Whether it's media, algorithms, or institutions, neutrality is often coded by those who benefit most from the system's default settings. A search engine ranks what it thinks is relevant. But who defines relevance? A news outlet says, "We're just reporting." But who decides which stories make the cut? So, bias isn't always deception. Sometimes it's just the lens, and we all have. Let's zoom in on media, the place where neutrality gets advertised the loudest. A news outlet says, "We're just reporting facts." But every camera angle, every headline, every adjective, clash instead of attack, changes how you feel about the same event. A protest can become a riot. A crackdown becomes restoring order. That's framing. And framing doesn't lie. It guides. It nudges what you think before you even think it. That's not evil. It's human. The illusion is thinking neutrality exists. Now, let's move to politics. When a politician leaves a party and says, "I'm independent," it sounds like freedom. But independence isn't neutrality. It's simply having the space to choose your bias without wearing a label. Everyone stands somewhere. Even independent voices are shaped by their worldview, values, and interests. Even science, often praised as neutral, is shaped by human choices. Which problems we study, who funds the research, how we interpret data, all reflect priorities. Objectivity is an ideal, not a state. And the closer we think we are to it, the more blind spots we often have. Let's bring it closer to home. Think of a conversation between two friends, one defending a cause, the other saying, "I don't take sides." That might sound peaceful, but sometimes it just means avoiding discomfort. When your silence protects the stronger opinion, you've already made a choice. Neutrality can also appear in workplaces. I stay out of office politics. But staying out often means letting the culture stay the same, even when it's unfair. So, maybe neutrality isn't absence of bias. It's absence of responsibility. Why do we love neutrality so much? Neutrality can feel safe. It keeps us from offending anyone. But it can also keep us from defending what's right. Silence, in moments of moral conflict, isn't neutral. It's permission. Neutrality can stop us from speaking truth when silence benefits the status quo. So maybe neutrality isn't about refusing sides. Maybe it's about knowing where you stand and being fair while standing there. Fairness means hearing others, but not erasing truth to avoid tension. Being neutral might feel safe, but being fair takes courage, because pretending to have no bias doesn't make us objective. It just makes our bias invisible. So, what do you think? Can neutrality truly exist, or is every stance already a side? Drop your thoughts below, because the conversation isn't neutral, it's necessary. Thanks for watching. Until the next idea takes its seat on the table, because every idea deserves a seat.